So hello and welcome to Wrexham AFC live on YouTube before today's fixture against Dagenham Redbridge. We've got the team sheet here for you today. So a couple of maybe changes. Ollie here will probably know more about that than me. You were at the last game, but some notable inclusions, I guess you could say. Jack McCreff is starting today, but we'll run through the full team. Chris Dunn in goal. James Jennings, Manny Smith, Sean Pearson and David Raven across the back. Then you've got Jack McCreff, Sam Wedgbury, Paul Rutherford, Marcus Kelly in midfield. And then up front we've got Scott Quigley and Scott Bowden. And then on the bench today, Christian Dibble, Nicky Devidix, Mark Carrington, Akil Wright and Simon Ainge. Now, are there any big surprises there for you?
Well, I'm sure for a few people the surprise would be Jack McCreff started. I was talking to Carl about this on Tuesday, and we were talking about the two players we wanted to see start this afternoon were Scott Bowden and Jack McCreff, and that has happened, which is for me a really good thing. Jack McCreff needs to prove himself. Not had many opportunities, especially since the new year. Really hasn't been too involved. The last 3 games where he's come on, I thought he's done really well. Got at teams and put in a good shift. For me, he's earned the right to get himself a start. And Scott Bowden and Scott Quigley, for me, I've been pining for it since Scott Quigley made his debut, because Bowden and Quigley are a real force, I think, up front, those two. They play off each other really well. First game where Quigley made his debut, they just looked like they were telepathic. Absolutely superb combination at times between those. I'm hoping we see more of the same. And looking at that team, it's a good solid team. Obviously we haven't got Kevin Roberts. He serves the third and final game suspension, so that's obviously why we'll see David Raven at right back. Mark Carrington only makes the bench, but it's a good team for me, and certainly the 11 I would have gone for if you'd have asked me for it before these teams came in.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's no hiding the fact that Wrexham have hit a slightly sticky patch recently, and I think a team like this is the sort of thing where maybe you can have that to break things up a little bit and get out of that rut. Akil Wright on the bench, I'd like to see him make an appearance in the game, because I'm a big fan of him, not just because of the shared surname, but just because I think he's a very good player. If we've got a lead, we want to defend, maybe take off Sam Wedgbury or Marcus Kelly and throw him on instead, just because he's that very defensive-minded player. But certainly it's a good team, and I'm looking forward to the game, to be honest. So we'll run you through the opposition now. Dagenham and Redbridge. In goal for them there's Mark Cousins, and then Ben Nunn, Luke Pennell, Craig Robson and Luke Howell. Charlie Adams. we practiced this and it's gone. Fajiri Okunbiri.
Yep.
That's Fajiri Okunbiri. There you go. Dan Sparks, Andre Bouchard, Mason Bloomfield and Jake Howells and then on the bench for them today, Lewis Moore, Matt Robinson, Bonds and Gala, which you were very excited about, and Michael Cheek and Elliot Bonds. Now, we just about made it to the home game for Dagenham Redbridge earlier in the season.
Yes.
That was a bit of a mission.
It's quite fitting that we're doing that, since we did break down about 45 minutes or an hour before that game, and we were seriously panicking.
The side of the M25.
Yeah. No trouble here, and really I'm looking at this team, Dagenham and Redbridge. They've had real financial problems of this season. When we played them back in October time that we played them, 1-0 win, 90th minute own goal, doesn't get much sweeter than that, does it? They had a solid team. Since then, they've been really struck by financial difficulties. They've lost the likes of Morgan Ferrier, Scott Doe, etc. And they've had to replace the goals. And Fajiri Okunbiri, who is the man who could trip us up a few times today, Okunbiri has replaced those goals as such. They've got 11 so far this season. Current top scorer for Dagenham and Redbridge. Scored in their 2-1 win a few weeks ago against Maidstone, which is an impressive victory. Maidstone, a really difficult side to get a win from. They've got they've got ability still there. Dan Sparks is a really good player who could cause a lot of troubles. Cousins is a really experienced custodian in goal as well. And then looking at the bench, Michael Cheek. A few years ago, we saw the damage he could do in this division for Braintree. He saw the damage he could do last season for Dagenham. I think he got over 20 goals last season.
Yeah.
Really, really good player, and some experienced bodies in there. But when you look at Wrexham as well, it was interesting when you made a point about the midfield. We've got, you talk about Akil Wright being on the bench. He's not, for me, performed too well over the last few weeks, and I think we were probably right to make a change. So to bring Wright onto the bench, but then you look at bringing players on late in the game, depending how games go. Nicky Devlin can play out wide or in the middle. Akil Wright can break up the play in the middle of the park. Mark Carrington can play pretty much any position.
Yeah.
And then you've got Simon Ains there as well. If you're going to throw bodies forward late on, hopefully it doesn't come to that late on in that respect. Against Ebbsfleet, we chucked Manny Smith, Sean Pearson up top, and played three at the back with Kelly there and the fullbacks. So, for Wrexham, really strong team. Dagenham aren't going to be a pushover. They've got Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday to play this week.
That's a packed schedule.
It's crazy how their schedule is. John Still said he was going to play some youth team players. He's got a couple on the bench there. I think in Robinson and Bonds. So they've got to rest and recover for those sort of games.
Yeah, so
they've got to look at it in terms of the winnable games they've got. They've got Guiseley on Thursday. You're more likely to play your first team against Guiseley because you can guarantee the win rather than go out and risk it against perhaps Wrexham.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how both sides utilise substitutes in this game as well.
Now, I mean, just from my point of view, something I think Wrexham have always seemed to get a bit wrong is bringing substitutes on too late in a game to affect things. Do you think that might potentially change today if we are in a if we are in a good position, swapping things out, or I think more of the same?
It's an attacking bench. It's also got defensive versatility. I'm looking at Devlin, Carrington, Wright and Ainge there, and they're all players who like to also get forward. You've got Wright and Carrington who can get back. So there's diversity there. It's a flexible substitute bench, but in terms of the starting 11, Jennings likes to get down the left. David Raven, not so much. It's going to have to be a bit of a lopsided full-back, right-back position with those two. I do like to see Mark Carrington playing at right-back as a preference. I think Raven did really well at left-back when James Jennings was out injured. But look at that, McCreth really likes running at people. Paul Rutherford really likes running at people. Maybe missed out on the Rutherford-Roberts combination that we've seen this season so far. But Wedgbury, Rutherford, look at that, Wedgbury, McCreth, Kelly and Rutherford, they all like getting forward. They all just love to get there, but they're good at tracking back as well, which we need to be ensuring, because I think Dagenham may come here and play on the counter as well, because for them, they may be satisfied with a point here today, but Wrexham need to be wary that Dagenham could steal all three. Yeah,
so, I mean, looking at this lineup then, what sort of formation could we see? Is this a 4-4-2, or could we see someone like Bowden maybe dropping a little bit deeper and playing off behind quickly?
We switched to a 4-4-3, I think, on Tuesday night. We started with a 4-4-2, as you would expect. Rutherford likely to be, I would think, perhaps on the left-hand side today. I think McCreth is better utilised out on the right. I don't think he'll be playing on the left. I could be wrong there, but I'd say today we're obviously playing the same, the back four that we all know, with Raven at right back instead of Roberts. Wedgbury and Kelly will be in the middle with Rutherford and McCreth out wide. Then obviously Bowden and Quigley, and I think Bowden's just going to drop. Well, obviously, as we've seen, Bowden's going to drop in deeper. Quigley may play on the shoulder, and Quigley's not got too much pace, so it's nice to see the fact that we've got the likes of McCreth who can rush in and help him quickly, rather than him holding up the ball, being crowded out and losing it out in the final third.
Yeah.
So it's really good. I think a really nice, versatile Wrexham side.
Okay. Well, unless you've got anything more to add, I think we'll leave it there and head upstairs. And join us after the game. We'll have a video for you then, talking about how the game has gone and presumably our enormous 3-0 win. One can only dream. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and join us after the game.